I know a big thing a lot of people are looking for is how to get out of jury duty. I figured out what works for me. Just be myself. Just be honest. I got called in for jury duty years ago down in Los Angeles, and I was frustrated because I had a bunch of tour dates. I was going to miss them, if the trial would have been long. So I sent in a little letter asking to be dismissed, and they didn't care. And they made me come in there, so I'm pretty irritated when I get there. I'm worried about getting stuck on this long, trial. Had nothing to worry about. Turns out all I had to do was just, be myself, honestly answer their questions. And they wanted nothing to do with me. When I got there, I figured out you can ask for another form to be dismissed. And the last question on that form is super direct. It just says, do you think you would make a fair juror? And I was just honest, and I wrote, no. I'm a comic. I get paid to make quick judgments and stick to them. And that's probably what I'm going to do in your court. Which is kind of true. I kind of trust my gut. And I thought that would get me dismissed. No, it didn't. I get stuck in a little jury selection pool. Now the defense attorney is asking me questions in front of the defendant, which is always awkward that he's in the room. We're just talking about him like he's not there. And the judge told us this guy had just served, 4 years for the attempted murder. He's just been released for the attempted murder of a rival gang member. Now he's being charged with murdering a different rival gang member. So in my head, I'm like, great, I'm in a room with somebody, definitely getting better at murder. And I thought that because when I saw him, I thought, yeah, he did it. For sure, that's a murderer right there. I thought he was guilty the second I saw him. I still do to this day. I'll tell you why. He had a lot of gang tattoos covering about half his face. Face, that's a commitment. To have gang tattoos. Not just tattoos, gang tattoos. Probably half. Half his face covered in gang tattoos. And look, I do realize having gang tattoos all over your face does not make you a murderer. Unless you're charged with murder. Then it absolutely probably does. The defense attorney, he read my answer to that last question about, making quick judgments. And I wrote that as a comic, so I think he thought I was joking. And he goes, have you made any judgments here so far? And I was not joking, and I go, yeah. I think he did it. It was so uncomfortable, I had to point at him as he stared back at me. With his tattooed murder face, probably memorizing features. And he says, you can't know that. You've heard literally no evidence. And I just said, look at his face. Everybody thinks he did it. And when I said that, I heard some snickering from the other potential jurors. I looked over, I counted at least 2 little sneaky thumbs up. They wanted to show their support, but not get in trouble with the judge. I had a hot crowd, I was killing in the courtroom. I wanted to put on a good show. And he says if the police, or if the prosecution doesn't provide enough evidence to prove him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, you have to find him not guilty. That's his words, you have to. And I just said, no, I don't. I don't have to. I make bad decisions all the time. I could make one here. And he said that would be illegal, and I got nervous. Because I watch a lot of crime shows, but I still don't fully understand what contempt of court means. But I felt like I was treading in that direction. And then I thought, well, you've come this far, let's ride it out. I was like, I don't know, maybe it is illegal. You're a lawyer. You know the law better than I do. Well, I'll tell you this. Just like bad decisions, I do illegal stuff all the time, and I usually get away with it. I was texting about how much I didn't want to be here the whole time I drove here today, and no one pulled me over, did they? And he just shook his head, talked to the judge, and 2 minutes later, I was walking to my car, a free man. I was never supposed to do this. I was supposed to be a counselor. True. I got a degree in psychology, just a bachelor's degree, and then I thought, well, maybe before I go into grad school, I should, get some experience, see if I'm actually cut out for this. And I'm glad I did, because I am not cut out for that. I got a job just with a bachelor's doing like low-level counseling, and learned right away that I'm a terrible counselor, mostly for 2 reasons. Turns out, can't stand complainers. Don't like all the whining. Also, can't keep a secret. Like, the crazier their stories were, the more I wanted to tell them to my friends immediately. I'll change the names. Mostly, I think I studied psychology because I'm fascinated with characters, just different personalities. Like my favorite character years ago, it's still my favorite today, is the compulsive liar. Such an interesting brain, right? The person who lies even when it's easier to tell the truth. They just feel like they have to lie. A lot of people can't stand this personality, because they go about it the wrong way when they're talking to them. They try to pin them down in their lies, try to catch them in their lies. Don't do that. It's a losing battle. They will endlessly invent new lies to cover up old lies. No, the best thing you can do is just enjoy it, Just act really interested. Act like you believe all of their lies because it builds their confidence and the stories get better. Ask leading questions. Take the lies in directions you'd like them to go. These people are choose-your-own-adventure stories come to life. Best liar I've ever met was this guy named Rick. Years ago when I was going to college, and this guy, I loved to ask him about something I knew he didn't do, just to see where he would, go with it. Like he worked at this bar near campus, and if I knew he worked the day before, I could just go up to him like, "Hey, Rick, how's your fishing trip yesterday?" Oh, fishing. Yeah. Good. It's real good. Caught about 60 salmon. That is good. I would think 5 or 6 would be good, but 60, that's something else. That must have taken you all day to catch 60. It took me about an hour. As his lies got crazy, he would lean forward a little bit more. Make more eye contact, like his whole body was trying to tell you, do not call me on my crazy lies. I am hanging on by a thread! You caught a salmon a minute. For a whole hour. What kind of bait does one use? Do you just crawl in the water and just grab and hit? Bait? I catch salmon with my bare hands. What do you really? You just go in and grab it? I stand on a waterfall. And I wait for the salmon to try and jump, and I just slap them to shore. You're like a grizzly bear. I have to fight off grizzlies while I catch my salmon. Like a man. I'm up there for an hour, just slap it down. Go and get, punch a bear. Slap, go and get, kick a bear. Slap a salmon, grab a bald eagle, fly to freedom when I'm done.